It's Kathy. It's Kathy. How are you today? I'm trying something new today. And that's partly why I was late, although I am late every day. So, I mean, right? I'm late every day. But I'm trying to think about this. Should I just switch to 10:15, do you think? Or should I just stick it to 10 and then just get my act together? What do you think? The verdict's still out, but today we're doing Edward Lear, and I thought it would be a better experience for you if I did this instead of reading from my iPad. You let me know what you think, what you like better. Um, I'm just trying stuff. I just want to make it a better experience for you and for me, for all of us. I want to keep improving. That's all I want to do. Maybe my next step will actually be designing this because it looks like it was put together by someone who is not an artist. I understand. I'm just going to check my phone and see. I know. Why am I checking my phone? I'm on my computer. I'm going to check my phone and see if you guys can hear me, which I think you can. I checked every single day. I check every single day. But, and I know there's going to be one day that I don't check, and that day is going to be the day that my mic's not working. But we'll see. We'll go to the desk in a little while. First, I'm going to do the Wikipedia read. And now we have slideshow, so we can walk through a couple pictures. We can walk through some art. And I got a little ambitious and I tried to do, I brought up some other pages of people that have been inspired by today's artist. Will we get to that? I don't know. For the moment, I'm just trying to gather my bearings because this is like a different vibe for me. So I need to see how I like it. Do I even like this? I don't know. I think it's better because you guys can see the art. So I could sit here and repeat myself all day, or I can check and see if you can hear me. Hey, Callie's here. Hey, Callie. I'm gonna listen to this. Hey. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, awesome. Callie. Thanks for showing up today. I really appreciate it. I love it. Thank you so much. Today we're doing Edward Lear, and he did a lot of, he actually did some interesting things because he was he was this multi-talented guy. He did, obviously, line art, little cartoony style things. He did, a lot of prose. He popularized limericks. He greatly influenced people that we all know and love, like Edward Gorey and Maurice Sendak. I mean, hugely inspirational for those guys. And I'm just going to keep swinging through these to show you some of his art. But we'll get to pieces that are even more so inspired in a minute. He does a lot of prose. Hold on. Let me see. I have some pages up, but hold on. Okay. He rivaled Audubon for bird illustration. I mean, this guy was talented in so many different ways. He also did landscape paintings, like legitimate fine art paintings. He did nonsense writing, so I think he popularized nonsense. We're gonna read about him though, so I'm gonna stop gabbing on my own, and I'm gonna switch screens here to desktop read. Okay, let's do this. Hold on, Callie. I just want to give you a little. I think it's cool. Callie says, I think it's cool that he was a scientific illustrator, but also has that super simple style. I do too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel such a kinship because I have stuff that's all over the map too. And I'm always like, but I do this, but I also do this. And like, am I going to confuse people? But I still do it because it's just me. And I try not to worry about stuff like that because it's like, you know, you can't control what people like and what they don't like. You can just do your stuff the best you can. And, you know, maybe some people will like this from you and this and be into this and not into this. And that's the way it is. You know what I mean? So you just do what you do, right? Exactly. Just create. Oh, you have a style too. I love your style. And I think that I'm glad you're here because this guy's cool. Okay. And he does wordplay too. In fact, there's a word for making up words. Did you know this? I didn't know this. It's called, I wrote it down. It's called neologisms. Neologisms. Neologism. A newly formed word, phrase, or term that gains recognition in popular culture. So, like, he made up these words, and, I mean, this guy must have been really fun. So, let's do this. Okay, we're going to do Edward Lear. Edward Lear. This is all from Wikipedia. I'm reading from Wikipedia. We can look at some art, and then we're going to draw. Oh, and today, I'm going to take a brief intermission in between read and draw because I need to set a few things up. I need to lower my chair, you know, that kind of stuff. But I have a cool screen. Hold on, I'm going to show you. Because I can't help myself. Okay, that's my screen for Be Right Back. All right, Edward Lear, let's do this. He was born May 12th. Hold on a second. All right, I need my glasses. Born May 12th, 1812. Died January 29, 1888. He was an English artist, illustrator, musician, author, and poet who is known mostly for his literary nonsense in poetry and prose, and especially limericks, a form he popularized. Hold on. I'm just looking for my eyeglass. My eyeglass washy stuff because my glasses are all dirty. Hold on 1 second. Neologism. Yeah, isn't that cool? It's got its own word. I was like, okay, I gotta write this one down because who knew? Okay. Biography. Lear was born into a middle-class family at Holloway, North London, the penultimate of 21 children and youngest to survive. Penultimate is like, whoops, there goes my kettlebell. Penultimate is second to last. So that's what that's about. Hold on a second. Where are we here? Geez, I'm just getting used to this. I think it's easier for me to read this on my iPad, but I'm gonna make it bigger. Oh, come on. Bear with me. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. Here we are. And I can see more now. Sorry. I feel like I think I'm feeling all of my surroundings today because this is like a new thing, new setup for me. So bear with me as I get my bearings, and thanks for being here. Cheers. Gulp. Okay. Lear was born into a middle-class family at Holloway, North London, the penultimate of 21 children and youngest to survive, of Anne Clark Scarrett and Jeremiah Lear, a stockbroker formerly working for the family sugar refining businesses. He was raised by his eldest sister, also named Anne, 21 years his senior. Jeremiah Lear ended up defaulting to the London Stock Exchange in the economic upheaval following the Napoleonic Wars. Do we want to know what the Napoleonic Wars is? Yes, we do. Oh, all we have is a reference, forget it. I'm getting to know Wikipedia very well. If it clicks, you have a page. If you have a footnote, you have a footnote. The footnote is pictures at an exhibition, selected essays on art and art therapy, which is not going to help me today, but because of the family's now more limited finances, when he was aged 4, Lear and his sister were required to leave the family home, Bowman's Lodge, and live together. Anne doted on Edward and continued to act as a mother to him until her death when he was almost 50 years of age. Isn't that sweet? You're going to hear more about why that's sweet in a minute. I'm going to just keep showing. Sorry, I'm narrating what I'm doing, but I just want to let you know. Part of what's good about having these screens is that I can show you different things while I'm talking, which is super important. But I'm just getting my bearings, so I didn't. I would like to have a screen show for you. I could show you the screens. I could show you a screen of the artwork while we do this, but I don't have my bearings yet, so that's why I'm not showing you that yet, and I'm sorry. Give me a minute, we can do it after. Anyway, okay, let me just continue. Okay, so Anne doted on Edward and continued to act as a mother to him until her death when he was almost 50. Lear had lifelong health problems. From the age of 6, he had frequent grand mal epileptic seizures, bronchitis, asthma, and during her life, partial blindness. During later life, partial blindness. Lear experienced his first seizure at a fair. Can you imagine the terrifyingness of that? At a fair near Highgate when he was with his father. The event scared and embarrassed him. He felt lifelong guilt and shame for his epileptic condition. And his adult diaries indicate that he always sensed the onset of a seizure in time to remove himself from public view. That's such a thing to live with. It's such a burden to live with. I mean, I'm sure it's just such an experience that I just feel for people who have epilepsy and have that issue. I used to work with a guy way long time ago. I worked at a ski resort for one winter, and one of the guys who was my friends that worked there too had epilepsy, and he would have seizures, and we were always kind of didn't even know until one day he had a seizure, a big seizure. I mean, I would justify it as a big seizure. I've never seen a seizure before, and it was a big seizure. And we would go skiing with him and stuff. And ever since that seizure, we were always kind of like, you gotta take extra care and be sure you know what's around. Can I get somebody help if I need help, But I think he, you have to be aware, for help for people who have seizures, just to know, so they can get help in case, so you can get, help from people too if they have one when they're with you, and just so you can stay aware. But after that it was just kind of like, wow, because we didn't even know that he had seizures until he had the big seizure. But then it's like, they want to just live their life and not have to deal with that, you know what I mean? But I think that I think that you have a sense of before you have one. From everything I've read, you have you have a sixth sense about before you have one, So that's what I've heard this from more than just him. I've read this in other places too, that you can have a sense. I don't know if it's the same for everybody. I have no idea, but I've heard this before. The sensing thing. Okay. He felt lifelong guilt and shame for his epileptic condition, and his adult diaries indicate that he always sensed the onset of a seizure in time to remove himself from public view. When Lear was about 7 years old, he began to show signs of depression, possibly due to the instability of his childhood. He had periods of severe melancholia, which he referred to as the morbids. Okay. So, we know that his mother died. Like, pretty much right away, right? Wait, when did his mother die? And then his sister raised him. Oops, sorry. Okay. Just getting my bearings. Okay. Lear was already drawing for bread and cheese, quote unquote, by the time he was age 16, and soon developed into a serious ornithological draughtsman employed by the Zoological Society from 1832 to 1836 by the Earl of Derby, who kept a private menagerie at his estate. Hey, K-pop fan! Thanks for being here. Okay, back to Edward Lear. Oh, what's going on there? Okay. Oh, wait. I think he's self-taught. Let's go deeper into this. He was the first major bird artist. Okay, wait. Sorry. I'm discombobulated. Developed into a serious ornithological draughtsman employed by the Zoological Society, and from 1832 to 1836 by the Earl of Derby, who kept a private menagerie at his estate, Knowley Hall. Okay, and then Zoological Society of London. Okay, since 1828 it has maintained London Zoo, and since 1931 Whipsnade Zoo. So it's a zoo that does, you know, that that furthers the study of animals. I'm sure that's what it sounds like. He was the first major bird artist to draw birds from life rather than the skin of specimens. Lear's first publication, published when he was 19 years old, was the illustrations of the family of Psittacidae, or parrots, in 1830. One of the greatest ornithological artists of his era. I apologize for my garbling. He taught Elizabeth Gould whilst also contributing to John Gould's works, and was compared by some to the naturalist John James Audubon. In honor of Lear's bird illustrations, Anadorhynchus leary, popular name Lear's macaw, is named after him. After his eyesight deteriorated too much to work with such precision on the fine drawings and etchings of plates used in lithography, he turned to landscape painting and travel. Among other travels, he visited Greece and Egypt during 1848 to 49, and toured India during 1873 to 75, including a brief detour to Ceylon. I'm going to do that because I want to make sure you see the screen. Sorry, guys. While traveling, he produced large quantities of colored wash drawings in a distinctive style, which he converted later in his studio into oil and watercolor paintings, as well as prints for his books. His landscape style often shows views with strong sunlight, with intense contrasts of color. Between 1878 and 1883, Lear spent his summers on Monte Generoso, a mountain on the border between the Swiss canton of Ticino, and the Italian region of Lombardy. His oil painting, The Plains of Lombardy from Monte Generoso, is in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford. Throughout his life, he continued to paint seriously. He had a lifelong ambition to illustrate Tennyson's poems. Near the end of his life, a volume with a small number of illustrations was published. I think that's great because this guy is already going to be, well known and stuff for his writing. but he really wanted to illustrate this other writer's poems, and I love that he was able to fulfill that ambition in his life. Illustrated excursions in Italy. Hey, Hobo Jim! Thanks for the streams. Making... Oh, okay, sorry guys. I gotta get used to this. So, I'm just gonna read Jim's comments real quick. I'll get better, I promise. At, you know, the segues. Thanks for streams, making my dry work day a bit more interesting and artistic. You're so welcome, Jim. Thanks for being here. Okay. We're going to look at some pictures too. I'm just getting my bearings with this new sort of setup, so I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing before I start like bouncing off different screens, if you know what I mean. Excuse my cough. I'm glad my mic's over there right now because I keep coughing. And I don't want to cough in your ear. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Where were we? I don't think we did this one yet. In 1842, did we do illustrated excursions in Italy? I don't know. Anyway, if we did, somebody tell me, and I will go to composer and musician instead. But I'm going to read illustrated excursions in Italy, 1842 to 47. So at this point, our friend Edward Lear is... He was born in 1812. It's 1842. He is 30. He began a journey into the Italian peninsula. I just said that. Traveling through the Lazio, Rome, Abruzzo, Molise, Apulia, Basilicata. He did a lot of traveling. Calabria, and Sicily. In personal notes, together with drawings, Lear gathered his impressions on the Italian way of life, folk traditions, and the beauty of the ancient monuments. Of particular interest to Lear was the Abruzzo, which he visited in 1843 through the Marsica. Let's see what the Marsica is. It's a geographical and historical region in Abruzzo, central Italy, including 37 comuni in the province of L'Aquila. Okay, all right, that's good. So it's an area. And the plateau of Cinque Miglia, Castel di Sangro, and Alfadina by an old sheep track of the shepherds. All right. So he went on an old sheep track of the shepherds and he just like roughed it, you know? He was just doing it. And this guy didn't have like an entourage. He didn't have, you know, he probably didn't have like anybody with him. I think he was alone. I don't want to spread rumors, but I do think he was by himself. I think he was kind of a loner. I know he had friends, but I think he was like, I think he was an introvert, but not just an introvert. I think he was like an introvert. You know what I mean? I don't know. He still, I mean, obviously had a great personality, had a great imagination. He was a brilliant, you know, creative person. I mean, I would say he's a creative genius with some of the stuff he's written. Pretty amazing and drawn. But look, he's also a composer and musician. Wait a minute. Did we read all this yet? Lear drew a sketch. I don't think we read this part yet. Sorry. Before we do that part, Lear drew a sketch of the medieval village of Alba with Mont Sorrent and described with Mount Sorrent, that's a mount, like a mountain, and described the medieval village of Solano with the castle of Piccolomini. This is terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm just not not doing so good with this Italian. Dominating the vast plain of Lago Fucino, which was drained a few years later to promote agricultural development. At Castle de Sangro, Lear described a winter stillness of the mountains and the beautiful basilica. More adventurous was the voyage to the regions of southern Italy in 1847, described in Lear's Journals of a Landscape Painter in Southern Calabria and C. The broad Calabria section, in which Lear tells his itinerary among breathtaking landscapes and often surreal characters, is thought to be among the best in travel literature. That's something to look up. Journals of a Landscape Painter in Southern Calabria, NC. Okay. I'm going to see if I can... I have a link to... I think I have a link to Librivox and a link to... Gutenberg project in the description. Check those out and see if Journals of a Landscape Painter in Southern Calabria and C are in either of those. Librivox is for listening to books. Gutenberg project is for looking at them. Gutenberg project's really cool because, and they're both free. Gutenberg project's really cool because a lot of the time they will have like a PDF of what it actually looked like. So you want to see like the art with the words, and you want to see the layout. Like that's what I like to see. I want to see how the design layout was of these old books, you know, and or like what art they added with it and what the end pages might have looked like and this and that. And you can see a lot of that sometimes with the Gutenberg project books, because they sometimes will scan them if they have, I think if they have access, they do. If they don't, then it's just like plain text or whatever, you know, like whatever they can put up there. But it's a great resource and it's free, so yay. Okay, back. Composer and musician. Lear primarily played the piano, but he also played the accordion, flute, and small guitar. He composed music for many romantic and Victorian poems, but was known mostly for his many musical settings of Tennyson's poetry. He published 4 settings in 1853, 5 in 1859, and 3 in 1860. Lear's were the only musical settings that Tennyson approved of. Oh, wow. That's cool. I mean, it's not cool that it is cool that he's picky, actually, because you got to be picky. But that's like a claim to fame. Lear also composed music for many of his nonsense songs, including The Owl and the Pussycat, his probably most well-known poem, but only 2 of the scores have survived. The music for The Courtship of the Yongi Bongi Bo and the Pelican Chorus. While he never played professionally, he did perform his own nonsense songs and his settings of others' poetry at countless social gatherings, sometimes adding his own lyrics, as with the song The Nervous Family, and sometimes replacing serious lyrics with nursery rhymes. Relationships. Lear's most fervent and painful relationship was with Franklin Lushington. Let's look at Franklin Lushington real quick. Sir Franklin Lushington was a British barrister, that's a lawyer, and judge. He was Chief Magistrate of the Metropolitan Police Courts in London from 1899 until his death in succession to Sir John Bridge. Okay. Close friend of the writer Edward Lear, who he met in Malta in 1849. They subsequently embarked on a tour of southern Greece together. Lear developed strong feelings for Lushington, but Lushington did not fully reciprocate these feelings. Despite this, they maintained their friendship for nearly 4 decades until Lear's death. The imbalance of their emotions constantly troubled Lear, and his attempts at forming intimate relationships with men were not always fruitful. The intensity of Lear's affections may have contributed to the difficulties he faced in sustaining these relationships. Okay. So he loved people hard, right? He was give it all you got kind of guy. He fell hard for people. Okay. I feel bad for him. I really do. Okay. Although they remained friends for almost 40 years until Lear's death, the disparity of their feelings constantly tormented Lear. Indeed, Lear's attempts at male companionship were not always successful. The very intensity of Lear's affections may have doomed these relationships. Well, that's interesting. Sometimes Wikipedia will like cut and paste sections and tack them on when they're on two people's bios, but this time I think they rewrote it a little bit. they did a little massaging of the words. He proposed twice to another writer, Augusta Bethel, whom he had known for a long time, when he was 26 years her senior. Oh, okay, so he was 26 years older than she was. I read this last night and I thought he was 26 years younger. Okay. The Honorable Augusta Bell was a British 19th century writer and translator. She was the daughter of Richard Bethel, 1st Baron Westbury. She published several children's books during her long career. So they in common. Writing, content for children. For companions, he relied instead on friends and correspondence, and especially during later life, on his Albanian Solvut chef, Georgis, a faithful friend, and, as Lear complained, a thoroughly unsatisfactory chef. I wonder if he was like just joking around, you know, like, your food sucks, you know what I mean? like just like needling him, you know? I don't know, because like maybe it's like part of their relationship or something. I can't imagine that he would have kept his chef on. Although I like, who has a chef? I mean, he wasn't loaded or anything, so I think that's interesting, but I don't know. Maybe he lived in a thing that had a chef for like a lot of people, and then he was one of the people. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I could go to Edward Lear, a biography by Peter Levi, and read about it, right? Thanks, Wikipedia. Another trusted companion in San Remo was his cat, Voss, who died in 1887 and was buried with some ceremony in a garden at Villa Tennyson. Oh no, Villa Tennyson was his. Wasn't that like his place? Oh, my question. Villa Tennyson. I want to know more about Villa Tennyson. And I know I read this last night, but I don't remember. Okay. San Remo and death. Okay. Here's one little weird thing I'm running into having this on screen. I don't want to make you guys dizzy with my scrolling, right? Like, I want to go look at, what I would do is look, where's Tennyson? What is Tennyson? Where is it? I know it's his, Tennyson. Oh, did he live with Tennyson? Is this, I'm wondering, because I know that he went to go live with, until Lear's death. Okay, wait a minute. Sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm like, what am I doing? This is so much information in front of me today. Okay, let's just keep reading. I'll figure it out later. San Remo and death. Lear eventually settled in San Remo, which reminds me of Las Vegas. I know it's not, but that's because I'm thinking about Reno. San Remo, on his beloved Mediterranean coast in the 1870s, at a villa he named, oh, here we go, Villa Tennyson. Okay. He's at Villa Tennyson. Now, why doesn't Wikipedia, I love you, Wikipedia, but I really want to have I want to have a link on Villa Tennyson so I can hear more about it. Lear was known to introduce himself with a long pseudonym. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay. This is going to be challenging. Mr. Abebica, Cratapanoko, Prizicalo, Catafello, Abel Gorabulus, Abel Borinto, Fazif. That's the name he was known to introduce himself as. And do you not just feel the Edward Gorey like dripping from that? I do. Or he also would introduce himself as I'm going to just scroll in so you can see. Here's where we are, right here. Chakanodon, the cause effects, Dossi, Fossi, Cine, Tomantilla, Coronilla, Pollentilla, Battledore, and Shuttlecock, Dairy Down, Dairy Dumps, which he based on... Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm just going to wear like a sticky on my forehead that says sorry, because it's a lot. Aldi, okay, which he based on, and this is a game. I'm going to just go into this. It's called Aldi Boron Tifos Gifor. Wait, hold on. Aldi Boron Tifos Skyfor Niostikos was a book that contained a game in which players had to read the snippet for each letter of the alphabet as fast as they could without making a mistake. Alternatively, several players could read the snippets in a staggered manner. Okay, I love it. I love creative wordplay. Sometimes I guess I'm not so good at reading it, but yeah, I do love it. I love words. As you know, I'm learning how to read. He's wild. He must have been like a word genius, because I have to break things. I mean, the way to read them is to break it down, right? So Aldi Boron. Oh wait, Aldi Boron. See, this is where I get complicated here. Between boron and typho. Okay, so Aldi Boron Typho Skiff. I like to break it down into like a syllable, but Aldi Boron Tifo Skyfo. Wait. Skyforn. No. Skyfornio. See? The words, like, they just, like, they get longer. You know what I'm saying. After a long decline in his health, Lear died at his villa in 1888 of heart disease, which he had had since 1870. So he had heart disease for a long time. He lived with it. You know, people do. After a long decline in his health, but he had other health problems, so it's kind of like, well, good on him for living that long with heart disease, because we know he had all these other problems too, and he had epilepsy. Lear's funeral was described as a sad, lonely affair by the wife. This is the heartbreak part. Lear's funeral was described as a sad, lonely affair by the wife of Dr. Hassel, Lear's physician. None of Lear's many lifelong friends being able to attend. And when I'm reading these, like, there's a lot that I'm just like, okay. You know, like, okay. But every now and then something hits me, like puts a little froggy in my throat and a little sweat in my eyeball, and it just kind of like throws me. And I got that way with Klimt when I found out he go watch the Klimt video. I don't want to go through or watch a short, because that's probably better. There's a short that I'm talking about, like crying in public. Watch that one if you're curious what I'm talking about. But once in a while there's something that just like, you know, gets me very verklempt. Something that like hits you over the head with emotion that you're not expecting. And this was just really sad to hear, because, and I gotta get out of here. I gotta stop talking about this because I'm gonna start crying. But for a guy who had like so much, I mean, I Googled this, like, why did nobody attend his funeral? Was he too far away? I just don't, it makes me very sad that nobody went to his funeral. You know, he just, for somebody who contributed so much, like, creativity and imagination and fun into the world through his works, it just makes me sad. Gulp. Okay. Lear is buried in the cemetery Fosse. at San Remo. On his headstone are inscribed these lines about Mount Tomorit in Albania, from Tennyson's poem to Edward Lear on his travels in Greece. Okay, this is nice. Dash, like an M dash. All things fair. With such a pencil, such a pen. You shadowed forth to distant men. I read and felt that I was there. All things fair. I'm going to read that again. All things fair. With such a pencil, such a pen. I have a feeling the word pen in this poem has a double meaning. You shadowed forth to distant men. I read and felt that I was there. So, such a pencil, such a pen. I think a pen is probably a creative guy or something. I really think that's like a double meaning in that poem. You shadowed forth to distant men. So he sees forward. He's a creative and like a adventurer. You shadowed forth to distant men. So you shadowed forth to distant men. And your influence is wide. And you were able to sort of, share the world with us through your work, maybe. I read and felt that I was there. So, this is very touching part. I mean, there's a few touching parts, I mean, there's a lot of touching parts. It's all touching, except for the parts that I had trouble reading, which was just places, titles, that's all. And some of his wordplay, which we're going to learn, and I'm going to comment it. It's called a neologisms. Newly formed word, phrase, or term that gains recognition in popular culture. And he also really popularized limericks. He wrote a ton of them. And Owl and the Pussycat is his most famous children's writing. And it popularized Dance by the Light of the Moon, which we all know from every commercial we've ever seen for whatever, Viagra, so his influence is here. It's alive and well, Okay. The century, I'm just kidding about the Viagra. I have no idea. What is I think it's used in some drugs. Commercials, that's all. That was my little humor. Okay. The centenary of his death was marked in Britain with a set of Royal Mail stamps. Sorry, that sounds like I'm reciting. The centenary of his death, centenary, is centenary 100 years, I think? There's no clicky. I can't click into that, so. Was marked in Britain with a set of Royal Mail stamps in 1988 and an exhibition at the Royal Academy. Lear's birthplace area is now marked with a plaque at Bowen's Mews, Islington, or Islington, I'm not sure, in London. And his bicentenary during 2012 was celebrated with a variety of events, exhibitions, lectures, and venues across the world, including an International Owl and Pussycat Day on his birth anniversary. That's cool. I love that. Let's look into that. International Owl and Pussycat Day. May 12th. Okay, awesome. That was, International Owl and Pussycat Day. So, if that is bicentenary, why do I have trouble reading this? Bicentenary. Hold on. I'm going to look into this. No. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. I gotta look up bicentenary because it's bugging me. Bicentenary. Ready? Oh. The 200th anniversary of a significant event. Okay. And then centenary, let's backtrack here, is the 100th anniversary. And why I just feel the need to look things up. That's all. Need to look things up. And we're back. Okay. 1846, author, Lear published. In 1846, Lear published The Book of Nonsense, a volume of limericks which went through 3 editions and helped popularize the form and genre of literary nonsense. Cool. In 1871, he published nonsense songs, stories, botany, and alphabets. I love it. He just threw it all in. He's just like, I'm not going to get hung up on my brand. I'm not going to get hung up on like Limerick Man, Cartoony Man, like Pen and Ink Man, Botany to rival Audubon Man, or Botany. Wait, not Botany. Bird drawings to rival. No. He just like, here, let me put it all in a big cake and give it to you in this book, which included the nonsense song Owl and Pussycat, which he wrote for the children of his patron, Edward Stanley, 13th Earl of Derby. Many other works followed. Who's this awesome patron? Edward Smith Stanley, 13th Earl of Derby, styled Lord Stanley from 1776 to 1832, and Baron Stanley of Bickerstaff from 1830. Did he change his name? Is he like Hokusai? Did he change his name around too? I learned to say Hokusai. You're not supposed to pronounce the U. I think you just say Hokusai. And if you haven't seen my Hokusai bio, it's really fun, and it happened yesterday. And I drew the Great Wave, so definitely check out the live stream. Check out the replay. It's a good one. It's a good one. Lear's nonsense books were quite popular during his lifetime, but a rumor developed that Edward Lear was merely a pseudonym, and the book's true author was the man to whom Lear had dedicated the works, his patron, Earl of Derby. Promoters of this rumor offered as evidence that both men were named Edward, and that Lear is an anagram of Earl. So what? Why would you do that? People just like to cause drama, right? I mean, although I have to say, it kind of tracks a little bit because anagram of Earl, and he's such a word guy, you know what I mean? So, but you're kind of making things, you're making drama, right? Lear's nonsense works are distinguished by a facility of verbal invention and a poet's delight in the sounds of words, both real and imaginary. A stuffed rhinoceros becomes a diaphanous door scraper. A blue boswas plunges into a perpendicular, spicular, orbicular, quadrangular, circular depth of soft mud. His heroes are quangle wangles, pobbles, and jumblies. One of the most famous verbal inventions, the phrase runcible spoon. And I hope I'm saying that right, because that is a word. Oh, runcible is a pseudo word. Okay, we have another word for pseudo word, for a neologism. It's a pseudo word. Okay, cool. Runcible is a pseudo word invented by Edward Lear. The word appears several times in his works, most famously as the runcible spoon used in Owl and the Pussycat. The word runcible was apparently one of Lear's favorite inventions, appearing in several works, occurs in the closing line of the Owl and the Pussycat, and is now found in many English dictionaries. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon. The moon, the moon, they danced by the light of the moon. Lines 27 to 33 of The Owl and the Pussycat. Though known for his, and here's our big word of the day, one of them, because there's a lot of them, neologisms, Lear. In linguistics, a neologism is any newly formed word, term, or phrase that has gained popular or institutional recognition and is becoming accepted into mainstream language. Lear used a number of other devices in his works in order to defy reader expectations. For example, Cold Are the Crabs conforms to the sonnet tradition until its dramatically foreshortened last line. Wait a minute. So, why don't they just show us? They don't have it here? Okay. I'm just going to keep reading. I don't know why they didn't put a copy of that down here. Today, limericks are invariably typeset as 5 lines. Lear's limericks, however, were published in a variety of formats. I need water. It appears that Lear wrote them in manuscript in as many lines as there was room for beneath the picture. For the first 3 editions, most are typeset as, respectively, 2, 5, and 3 lines. The cover of one edition bears an entire limerick, typeset in 2 lines. There was an old dairy town dairy who loved to see little folks merry, so he made them in book, and with laughter they shook at the fun of that dairy down dairy. Okay, cute. I'm just going to pour some water because I'm thirsty. Water. Okay. It's kind of nice to not have my face right up to the mic because you can't. You're probably not listening to me gulp right now. Maybe you are. I don't know. I don't know if it can pick it up. Okay. In Lear's limericks. Okay, did we read this one? No. In Lear's limericks, the first and last lines usually end with the same word rather than rhyming. Do we want to read this part? Do we care? Should we just go to the... Let's just go to the art. Let's go to the art. Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. Not yet. We're not going to the art yet. We're going to skim past that, and we're going to go to portrayals and in popular culture, and then we're going to look at some art. Portrayals, Edward Lear. Oh, and thank you so much for hanging in with me today. I know this is like a kind of a stilted and weird one today. I'm getting used to this new setup, and I think it's worth it for me to have a little bit of uncomfort and have a little bit of a stilted and weird stream to just get used to my new setup here and to like work out the kinks, because I want to try this out, and I feel like it's a better experience than me and my iPad and like, you know what I'm saying. You got me. Okay. You know, if anybody's still here. I don't know. I don't know if you are at this point. At this point, you might have hung it up. Okay, I don't know. Let's go. Portrayals. Edward Lear has been played in radio dramas by Andrew Sachs and The Need for Nonsense by Julia Blackburn, BBC Radio, February 2009. And by Derek Jacobi in By the Coast of Coromandel by Lavina Murray, BBC Radio, December 2011. He was portrayed on television by Robert Lang and Edward Lear on The Edge of the Sand, a special episode of The Natural World, BBC 2, April 1985. In popular culture, Lear's written work was used extensively in the short-lived, this is interesting, in the short-lived The Tomfoolery Show, a Saturday morning cartoon that was produced by Rankin Bass and broadcast on NBC from 1970 to 1971. This is something I wrote down because I was fascinated by it. And I was also like, did I see that? I mean, it's a little old for me to watch, but it totally would have been in my like world. Rankin Bass, you know, they did the Rudolph TV show, and they did Frosty the Snowman, so very, very cool. I would love to look this up like later. Okay. If I find anything on the Tomfoolery Show, maybe I'll look it up on YouTube and see, and if I find any links, I'll put them in. Okay. A Beach Full of Shells, the 20th album by musician Al Stewart, pays tribute to the song Mr. Lear, celebrating Foss and many events from Lear's life. I think there's more. I don't know. I think there's more, but it's not in here. I think there's more popular culture stuff for Edward Lear. In fact, I'm sure of it. I just don't know where it is. I'm just going to scroll down. So, okay. So let's look at some of his art, because his art's amazing. I'm going to just do this. So he did a lot of bird art. Loves birds. Look at that. These are beautiful. Monkey. Oh my God, look at the chimp. That's great. And then this little owl. I'm going to zoom in. Beautiful. All right. Okay, and here we are, Owl and Pussycat in their boat. Lear showing a doubting stranger his name in his hat to prove that Edward Lear was a man and not merely a name. That's cute. I like that. Okay, here's one of his sketches. Ferret? Oh, weasel. Okay. One of his landscapes. Here, let me zoom in on that. But we'll see some more landscapes in a minute. Here's one of them. And then, hold on. Oh. Sketch. Nice. Beautiful sketch. Love it. Oh, that's really nice. I really like that. Oh, great sketch. Self-caricature, 1870. Excellent. Great. I love a little line sketch on an old piece of like college ruled paper. That's perfect. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, nice. Okay. Love the colors. Love the softness. Looks like watercolor. Is it watercolor? I think it's watercolor. I mean, looks very watery. Nice picture. You know, okay. Here's my thought. My thought is that, hold on. I think I'm gonna save this picture. I think I want to do a portrait of him today. I really do. I really do. I really think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just saving his portrait right now. I think I want to do a portrait of Edward Lear. And yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I just really like this picture. I've been craving to do a portrait. And wait a minute, where are we? Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Okay. Can I move forward? What's going on here? Okay, hold on. Here's my first, here's my first, what's it called? Problem of some sort here. Okay, let's go to all right. Book of Nonsense. So, if we are thinking about Edward Gorey and Maurice Sendak, these are the pieces to me that I was thinking about that really speak to both of those artists for me. And I did look it up on Wikipedia, influence, and they, affirmative, they both count him as a major influence. And it's very clear, and I think it's a really good I think it's a really good illustration of inspiration versus copying. So if you're thinking about you know, artists, the difference between inspiration and copying. I mean, here's all you need to look at these guys. Look at Edward Lear, and then you look at Edward Gorey or Maurice Sendak. And it's a very good it's a good showing of inspiration versus copying. I mean, if you look at this art, this is so Sendak to me. It's so Sendak to me. Some of the shapes, some of the... I mean, it's just very much influential. But not copy. But not copy. And another thing is adding. You know, you add your own flair. You know, you add your own flavor, your own... you're adding your own vibe, right? When you're doing that. So yeah. Oh wait, I need to reset my... Okay. How come I'm losing the ability to... Hold on, I gotta go back to... I gotta go back to Wikimedia. Sometimes when I zoom like that, it sort of kicks me. It kicks me out of things. I'm gonna go back, and some of these are small, and I apologize that they're not bigger. This is from a book of nonsense. Book of nonsense. I mean, we could look at these all day, you know. So I'm gonna go into artwork now, and I think I'm gonna do a portrait of Edward Lear and maybe draw a poem around his head, because I think that would be fun and unique and an homage and different, you know. And because I love his work, but I don't want to do my version of any of these. I would like to do something inspired by him, but not... I like this one. This is really cute. But not something he did. I want to show you though. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where's the book? I wanted to show you because let's go to real quick, as usual, real quick. Gutenberg project. I want to show you the book laid out because it's really good to see it. It's really good to see it. So if you go to the Gutenberg project, you can see the layout, and then blah blah blah. Okay. Hello, Edward Gorey, right? There was an old dairy down dairy, that poem. And the art. And I'm not going to zoom in and out just because I don't want to lose... Actually, this is probably the last one that I'm going to do. So let me actually make it bigger. Should we make it bigger like that? Okay. So yeah, here we are. There was an old man with a nose who said, if you choose to suppose that my nose is too long, you are certainly wrong, that remarkable man with the nose. There was a young person of Smyrna whose grandmother threatened to burn her. But she seized the cat and said, Granny, burn that, you incongruous woman, old woman of Smyrna. There was an old man on a hill who seldom, if ever, stood still. He ran up and down in his grandmother's gown, which adorned that old man on a hill. There was an old person of Chile whose conduct was painful and silly. He sate on the stairs, eating apples and pears, that imprudent old person of Chile. I love how looking at these, this stuff is different than what you would see today, but it's so interesting to see the forward movement of just creative work from creative people in the world over the years, over hundreds of years. It's interesting, and how it changes with culture, and how, it's just really, it's neat. And then there's Edward Gorey after this guy, and Edward Gorey he did very similar work to this in terms of like conceptually, and thematically, but the work was different. So I love that. So awesome. So I am going to set up to draw now, and I'm going to do it over there, and I'm going to go into be right back mode for a few minutes while I set things up, and then we're going to do some ink drawing. I'm going to do ink today. Straight up ink. I'm going to do a portrait, and then I'm going to draw. This is like what I think I'm going to do. If you ask me right now, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, we're going to do his portrait, and we're going to do some writing around it. So stay tuned. Okay, good. I'm back. All right. Let's do some drawing. Let's draw. Okay. Edward Lear. Okay. I'm back. And you can hear me. Right. Okay, good. Let's do some drawing. Hold on one second. Let's draw. Let's turn down my voice, shall we? Okay. Let's turn my voice down. Voice down. Turn on. Can I look at the chat? I can see the chat. Hey, thanks for hanging in. Let's draw. Let's do this. All right, we're going to draw Edward Lear. And I have to find like something. I got to find a little something to write around his head. And so I was looking at, just a second. I was looking at, what are we looking at? I was looking at top 25 Edward Lear quotes. Yes. I'm going to just move my mic a little bit away from my face so you don't like hear my every single little single everything. Here's my cold coffee. Delightful. Very happy with my cold coffee here. All right. There was an old man with a beard. This is a quote that he wrote. There was an old man with a beard who said, it's just as I have feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard. That's awesome. I love that. It's fitting for the picture I picked. I don't have an owl, a hen, a lark, and a wren. I can look it up. Do I want to get into that? How hard do I want to make this for myself today? That's the question. It takes a long time to make a painter, even with a good artist's education, but without one, it tries. Hey, let's do old school. Okay? There we go. All right. It takes a long time to make a painter, even with a good artist's education, but without one, it tries the patience of Job. It's a great thing if one does not go backwards. You know how you don't go backwards? You don't take breaks. You continue to work. That's how you don't go backwards. Interesting point, though. Very interesting. And like a salient point. Okay. I am in a very unsettled condition, as the oyster said when they poured melted butter all over his back. Okay. All right. A vile, beastly, rotten-head, full-begotten, brazen-throated, pernicious, piggish, screamish, tearing, roaring, perplexing, split me crackle, crash me criggle, insane ass of a woman is practicing howling below stairs with a brute of a singing master so horribly that my head is nearly off. That is awesome. That's a contender for sure. I love that it uses so many of his words. I am almost thanking God that I was never educated, for it seems to me that 999 of those who are so expensively and laboriously have lost all before they arrive at my age and remain like swift stolbrugs, cut and dry for life, making no use of their earlier gained treasures, whereas I seem to be on the threshold of knowledge. I love that. They danced by the light of the moon. Yes. They went to sea in a sieve. They did. In a sieve they went to the sea, in spite of all their friends could say. And what can we expect if we haven't any dinner, but to lose our teeth and eyelashes and keep on growing thinner? Oh. They dined on mince. Okay, we were there. There was an old... I don't need to read that one again. There was an old person of Brussels who lived upon brandy and mussels. When he rushed through the town, he knocked most people down, which distressed all the people of Brussels. Okay. Who or why? Okay, no. When awful darkness and silence reign over the great Grumbulian plain through the long and wintry nights. I think we might have our answer. I think we might have our final picture, I think we might have our quote. Okay, let's see. I keep scrolling. You know why? Because I'm like, well, there's only 25. There's only 25 quotes. So if I look and I see something good, we're going to use this one. Because I like it. I like it. And you know, it's because I like it. We're doing it. I'm going to screenshot this. And we're going to take that into my... I think I have this picture. I'm going to screenshot this one. And then I'm going to screenshot our other one. And then I won't have to be like, you know, going all over the place for everything. Save. Blah, 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 blah. Open image in new tab. Shall we do that? Yes, we shall. And then we're going to save image in photos. Yes, there we go. All right. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We're going to do Edward Lear. We're going to do Edward Lear. We're going to draw his... We're going to draw him. And then let's go into my photos now. We're going to draw him. We're going to draw him with a brush pen. And we'll turn the light up. Turn our light up. Get our photo over here so we have our reference. Keep my eye on the chat just in case anybody wants to chat with me. I'm right here. I'm right here. I got the chat open. I'm not gonna miss you. I'm not gonna miss your chat if you want to chat. If you're up for that. If not, that's fine too. That's fine too. I'm actually going to take my rolling eraser. I'm going to do this. See, this is like ingenuity at work. I'm making a stopper for my phone because my phone doesn't have a phone case. I'm just going to do that. Okay, great. Now, there we go. Hooray. Oh, okay. There, that's better. No? Okay, that didn't work. I'm going to make it work. There we go. We're going to do one for each side of my phone. Okay, so if you buy an eraser, if you buy one of these erasers, You can make it into like a phone holder. I'm going to show you how, okay? And this is like literally, this is my class. This is how to this is my class, how to repurpose your squishy eraser. Just do that. And now, hopefully, oh, now hopefully it'll work. Okay, I'm gonna just put it. Okay, hold on 1 second. I know, I'm putting a lot into this. This is like, why am I spending so much time on this? It's because I don't want to mess with it later. And yeah, I totally should have done this off screen, so my apologies. My appals. That's short for my apology. Okay, now I can see you. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. I'm excited. I am excited. I'm excited. We have so many delicious pens to choose from today. We have the Bravo. We have, oh, you know what else we have? We have this one. We have the Food Nasuk Tombow. Should we pick something that can be easily seen on the screen? Probably. Yes, we should. I have this fabulous... I kind of wanted to use something that I thought Edward Lear would use. But, I mean, I didn't see any of his work that was done with a brush pen, but... I mean, he must have used a brush pen, right? Like, at some point. I kind of want... I know. Are you like, she's not going to draw yet? I've been sitting here waiting for you to start drawing. I know. I've been waiting for me to start drawing too. I need to, like, elevate my page a little tiny bit. Maybe we should try our ink bottle to elevate. Or maybe we should try some moleskins. Is that going to work? Oh, this ink is, oh, by the way, Yasutomo Sumi Ink Black. I literally, it's my first time with it. I'm not like, hey, this is great. Although it is, I like it. But it's not waterproof, so just know that going in. It's like water resistant. It's not waterproof. Two different things. Okay. I kind of want to sketch, and I kind of don't. Let's do like a very light. Let's do like very light with our Neocolor first. And, you know, we completely can do ink over this. So that is like not an ish at all. That is not an issue. So this is just for me because I want to get my I just want to get my sizing right, you know, like I want to get things right. This is where I start losing my words because I'm drawing and it is a skill. It is a skill. And yeah, it's not, no, I haven't mastered it. Nope. I have not mastered the talking and drawing thing. I'm trying. I'm working on it. Working on it. Am I lying? Am I not going to use a pen on this? What was all that big talk about using a pen? Big talk. Big talker. Haven't picked it up yet. I will say this Neocolor to me right now is like magic. It's really nice to work with this way. It's really nice on this paper. And he has like a little divot on his nose. And if you want to know a cool way to draw a beard, do you see what I'm doing with my Neocolor right now? How I'm like rolling it. I have a video where I demonstrate this technique. And it's a good way to draw organic, like leaves and stems and leaves and things, but it's also good for beards. It's also good for beards. I wonder how old he is in this picture. I'm gonna guess. Is he in his 30s? Maybe 35, maybe? Just guessing. 40? I'm gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up this second because I'm drawing. I don't want to interrupt what's happening right now. And if you are watching this and you would prefer that I zoom in, do let me know. in the chat if you are so inclined, because I don't really know if that's what you want or not, so I'm gonna just leave it. Sometimes it's nice to do, you know, just like overhead view, and then I don't have to keep moving stuff around. But I am 1000% game to do the zoom, because I often do that because it's what I think people want, but I don't actually know. I don't actually know what people want if I don't hear that from people. So if you do like the zoom, just let me know and I'll zoom you. I'm actually going to do a little bit of tweaking though, because this is just like, this needs to be like, is that better? I think that's probably better for you, because we don't want to watch something like that's not, oh, that's my water. That was my water bottle. I want to see things a little better. You know what I love about this? I love this picture. I really do. He is a stunning looking guy. Hey, Debbie. It's so good to see you. I've missed you. And I've been thinking about you. And I'm like, I need to watch a Debbie video. And I didn't watch a Debbie video, probably because I'm always making videos. Probably because I'm making videos. Debbie, you are totally doing a 1-for-1. Your skills are amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you. You know what's funny? It's so funny when I say, I'm going to do this and that. Like, what I said today was, I'm going to use ink. And here I am using a Neocolor. Debbie says, ha, I've missed you too. Oh, we missed each other. Life's been busy here and I'm in and out of the house constantly. Well, that's kind of a good thing, right? I love being busy. But I get it. And I'm busy right now too, and I totally get you. I'm totally with you, sister. Sister in busyness. You know, I've been seeing also the notifications, and I signed up to go to tomorrow night's art hang party. And I just hope that I see because if I don't get the notification, it does drop off my radar. I'm getting better at remembering though, which is good. You know, after all these months, I'm getting better at remembering. And sometimes I pop in and just to watch, you know, if I can't join in. But so Deb, oh, okay. Debbie says, busy is okay, but I can't stand having to jump in the car every couple of hours to drive someone somewhere. Oh my God. Well, that's the life. That's your life with twins, right? That's your life with twins that have places to go and people to see. And just your general work. You're probably going to shops and making videos that are fun that I want to watch. So I'm going to binge them all in like 3 weeks. I'll just like binge them all in 2 days. That's what I do. And yep, that's what you do. So I'm just trying to make sure that I have the right measurements here. What are we doing? This is what we did in art school, okay? And I know it sounds so dumb. It's like, really? But it actually, I mean, it kind of stuck with me a little bit. I haven't used it over the years, like, consistently, but like the whole measuring technique thing, it does work if you're paying attention. If you make sure to not move this in space, it actually does work to help you measure things. I think perhaps we won't even do ink today. I'm not sure, and I'm sorry if I'm disappointing anybody. I'm not sure if we're going to go into ink today because I I think I'm all in on this Neocolor situation. And I have to say, this paper is pen and ink paper, and it's working great on this. I'm loving the smooth with the Neocolor. It's giving me what I want, okay? It just is giving me what I want. And that's cool. So I'm drawing a picture of Edward Lear. Debbie says, well, I've never learned any of that stuff. I bet it would have made portraits so much easier. I've been winging it the whole time. But you know what's cool though? You're like using your own intuition, which is also really cool. Because it's so funny, Deb. Having been somebody who's gone to art school and everything, there's always the age-old question of, do you learn how it's classically done so then you can go around breaking the rules? Or is learning in a classroom or learning in a educational foundational way like that, is that hindering you? You know what I mean? And I'm glad I went to school, and I'm glad I had the experiences I had, and I have had some amazing, teachers and stuff. But I think you can totally, especially nowadays, oh my gosh, like you don't need to go to school. You don't need it. I mean, you can learn as long as you're a lifelong learner, and you can learn, concepts like drawing concepts and stuff really anywhere. It's just literally just the time, putting in the time, putting in the effort, that kind of thing. And you do that. So it's definitely, I do, you can have great teachers on Skillshare, or you can have great teachers in your class, you know what I mean? So, but I do remember, and you do remember your best teachers. And my favorite drawing teacher was Nathan Goldstein, and he is deceased now, and he's written a ton of books. And I was very, 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 very lucky. He's somebody that I'm so grateful that I got to learn from him, and that I was able to be in his classes. I mean, he was like amazing. Self-taught takes a lot longer to figure out. Haha, I wish I had learned all the basics. You can get them from books if you want to, The only problem is a lot of those books are kind of dry. But they're good. They are dry, but they're good. But there's tons of classes now. You can take classes. And the cool thing is, which is also the bad thing, you're not like locked inside a classroom. So you can kind of do it at your, on your whatever works for you. Like you can be like, oh, I need a break. I need to have lunch. I need to decompress, or, you can take your breaks now. But when you were in a classroom back when we were kids, I'm older than you, but when, thank God for YouTube and Skillshare and all that. I know. This is Deb talking. Makes learning a lot more accessible and fun, and you can go at your own pace. Exactly. I'm with you. I'm so grateful for it. Oh, I wanted to say, what just came up on my YouTube is, did you know that you could do courses on YouTube? Like you could create courses? I did not know this, and I have just learned this. And they don't seem to be like a popular thing for people to create, or I just haven't found the magic keyhole to where one would find everybody's courses on YouTube. So, because I do teach on Skillshare, but I haven't done a class in a while, and I love YouTube, so it's been a thought bubble ever since I found out about that. But I don't actually know what the deal is with that. YouTube just does not seem like, I mean, I would love it to be, I would absolutely love for YouTube to have like a class component, but I wouldn't want to put the energy into doing it unless, and I guess that's the catch-22, right? Because if it ever did take off, then if you're the first one there, ta-da, you're the first one there, you know? But, and Debbie says, I had no idea you could do that on YouTube unless maybe it was a member thing. Yeah, you can, and it's probably in your, if you go into your YouTube studio, you can probably read about it. There's not a lot of information, unfortunately, which makes me think like, oh, it must actually be like this, it must be like this failed thing or something, or maybe they're going to discontinue it. I have no idea, but I do know that I just recently saw it, and I tried to find more information about it, and there just wasn't a lot. And in terms of how you get paid and stuff, like apparently they removed the ability to recently. I guess they launched it like last year, a year ago-ish. And you can't buy classes a la carte anymore. It's like a member thing. So that makes me think that it's probably not, taking off, if you know what I mean. But I don't really even know enough to talk about it because I don't, and finding information about it from other, from just searching on YouTube, searching on YouTube, it's, you search courses on YouTube, you're not going to get YouTube courses, you're going to get every other type of course, every other platform, whatever. But it's not easy to search, or I don't know how. Anyway, I haven't found the magic keyword combo. So this is a raw umber. We're going to go in with the raw umber. I could use ink. Do I want to use ink? If I use ink on this, do I want to use ink? I still haven't decided yet. And we're getting up there. We're getting late. So I kind of have to make a decision. I want to draw his little bag slung around him because that is just so cute. He's like, I'm a traveling man. I love it. It's like a part of his personality. And he's wearing his little gingham shirt, which I love. I love the gingham shirt. I wonder if you can offer classes but just to members, which is what you were just asking, I know, but I don't know, and I couldn't find specific details. It was very hard to find any details on that stuff. I think I already just said that, right? That makes it hard for me to know if they're actually, like, what are they doing? Are they phasing it out? How come I can't find the information I'm looking for on it? I don't know. I feel like I have to go in and pretend like I'm going to create a course to get any information about it. But I feel like if I have to do that, maybe I shouldn't even bother, Maybe I shouldn't bother. Let's grab my brand new Fantastico pen. This is okay, I'm going to have to be quiet again for a minute. This is a Pentel brush pen. And this is the kind that was Japanese. as in the packaging was Japanese. So I don't know if that changes anything about it, you know, but like, I don't know if that makes it a different type of a better pen, or I don't know, you know, like in terms of production, in terms of manufacture, I don't know. So his hairline's like this, and then his hair is pulled back. So his hair looks like it's in a ponytail. Shall we zoom? I'm gonna zoom. I want to zoom because these are like some very detailed, like, we got some detail going on here. And I really want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Better? Hopefully that's a little better. Oh wait, there we go. That's probably better. He has beautiful eyes. Hopefully that's better. And I am not going to erase anything on this because the Neocolor will dissolve with water, but we're not doing water. We're not doing no water on this. Don't you worry. I'm fixing this for you. See, I can't not give you a close-up. It's just not in me. It's just not in me to not give you a close-up. Or as close to a close-up as I can do. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Sorry. Sorry, Charlie. My phone decided it got tired. But we're still here. We are still here. Oh! You guys got a full-on view, right? There we go. Alright. Let's keep going with this. We're getting there. We're getting there. Getting there, getting there. I think this is definitely I think we have a new record, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm gonna keep not talking because I wanna keep moving through this. So feel free to chat, and I will turn the mic on and talk to you again if you want to. But for now, I'm just gonna turn it off while I work on this. Okay. Oh my gosh! Thanks, Debbie. Thank you. What happened? I picked up the pen after all. This guy is just mesmerizing looking. He looks like somebody I want to hang out with. I want to talk to this guy. He's so creative. Oh my gosh. He is... I feel like we only scratched the surface because I feel like Wikipedia, love you Wikipedia, but you know, Wikipedia doesn't have like all the infos. I want more Edward Lear details. I want to hear more about him. I want to hear more about his life and his loves and his health and his, you know, how he did things. I know he traveled a lot. I know he was kind of, I think, yeah, from what it sounds like he was quite the loner, but he still was. I don't think that affected his ability to be charming and to be so imaginative and have such a fanciful personality. He certainly had that. I mean, without a doubt, this guy had like a fanciful personality. So why did no one go to his funeral? That's the part that makes me want to cry. That's the part that really tugs at me. And also that he was epileptic. That also is very tough and sad and upsetting because that's hard to live with. And I think that would really affect like every aspect of your consciousness to live with epilepsy. And Deb says, well, I tuned in very late and know nothing about him, and now I'm very eager to learn. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in at all. And I will just give you a warning. It's a super long one. Obviously, I'm still here. I got here at 10:15. I'm still here. It's a super long one, but I just started doing today was my first day doing a new setup when I'm reading. I am reading on my computer. So visually you can see the screen on your screen, and then I have a little head. And then, but I was, getting my bearings. So that always takes longer, right? Because I'm just like getting my bearings, trying to figure it out. My sight, like my vision on my computer is not, oh, thanks. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I need to get used to it. I need to work my screen so I can read better, because reading, just like the technical stuff, it's just as boring. I'm talking about the boring tech stuff is, I need to work through that. I'm just going to have to get used to it, honestly. But I think it's better for if I'm reading bios, you know, not for art, obviously, but not for this part. But then I had to take a little break to readjust my chair and get some water and stuff in between. So that was like a 5 or 10 minute break. So yeah, we're in it for a marathon here. And then I committed to doing pen and ink. What's wrong with me? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What's wrong with me is I love pen and ink. And what's wrong with me is I wanted to honor this guy. And I wanted to do a medium that he, you know, used. And he used a lot of pen and ink. He used so many things, though. I mean, I feel so simpatico with this guy because he did like some vastly different, like his work. He did, on one end of the spectrum, he did birds that are like Audubon style painting. Like 100% up there with Audubon. And he worked for a zoo, the Zoological Society. He did that. And he drew birds, or painted birds, and that was amazing. And on the other hand, he literally, like, majorly influenced his work. I want to say, oh, it's similar to Edward Gorey. No. Edward Gorey's work was similar to his. And if you look at his nonsense books, it's undeniable. The influence is like, I mean, it's there. And, you know, I talk a little bit about in the stream about influence versus copy and how he influenced Gorey and Sendak very much so. Okay, their work is not a copy, it's influence, but it is always like, it's very, very, you can really see it, you know. It's like undeniably influenced, and it's kind of amazing because they brought it, it's almost like Gorey like kind of inhabited so much of what he began, and like and had the spirit of that and just took it to the next level. You know what I mean? It's really something. I wonder if there's any books on that actually, because yeah, it would be totally up your alley, Deb. Oh my gosh, you have to look at it. Yes. I put some links in the profile. I put some links in my bio. What am I talking about? I put some links in the description of this video to Gutenberg. If you go to the Gutenberg links and then you click on the nonsense book, check it out, because I think you're gonna be very and just scroll through because it's got the design of the book and his pictures in the book, so it's not just like plain text and then whatever. It's like actual, you can actually see what the book was like, you know, and it's really, 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 really neat to see that. But yeah, he's very inspiring guy, inspiring art, and so many of these artists like struggled so much in their life, and now it's like they're just, you know, infamous, you know, like you just, you know, you don't remember what it was like to not know about them, you know. And I think people nowadays, we know artists that were influenced by this guy, but you know, a lot of us didn't know who this guy was. And I mean, I literally would be like, Edward Lear? You mean like Norman Lear, the TV guy? Like, you know, but no, he wrote the Owl and the Pussycat, right? So that's a well-known poem. but he also did a lot of other, he did things that were vastly different than each other. Like he did landscapes, like serious, you know, painterly landscapes. And then he also did these just, you know, whimsical, darkly whimsical line work, line art. Oh, and I also mentioned earlier, if you look at some of his character, like just the way that he drew characters, you know, like facial features and whatnot, and then you look at Maurice Sendak, it's like very, you can really see influence there. So we have this picture here, and I think this is, let's just do like a little, let's add a little grit. Let's add a little grit here. And I think this is good. I was going to draw around him. Maybe I still will. Maybe I still will. Should we? A vile, beastly, rotten head, full begotten, brazen-throated, pernicious, piggish, screaming, tearing, roaring, perplexing, spit me crackle, crash me criggle, insane ass of a woman is practicing howling below stairs with the brute of a singing master so horribly that my head is nearly off. I kind of liked that. I kind of liked that for him, because he was just the king of like this nonsense speak. And that is completely. But if I do that, do I want to use something a little more controllable, such as my Sharpie pen? Do I want to do something like this one? Do I want to lay out some ink and use this? Because I will tell you, I just got this pen. Nightbot put you in jail, Deb. I'm so sorry. My apologies. It'll let you talk again in a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Why? What's going on here? Just a second. I'm just checking. What's going on here? What happened? Why did Nightbot delete all those? Oh, Deb, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I almost think this is going to be too much text for me to commit to right now. Okay, so I just opened this pen the other day, and I got the ink flowing, but it like is extremely measured. Like I can't even get a nice, and then I complain when I get a glop. So I don't know. Is it ever going to be perfect? Will we ever get perfection? I do love this pen, but I do have a lot of grit in it, and I love the grit, but I didn't expect that from a pen that I just opened, you know? Guys, should we do text? This is a lot of text. A vile, beastly, rotten-headed, full-begotten, brazen-throated, pernicious, piggish, screaming, tearing, roaring, perplexing. Okay, this is a lot of text. Can I commit to this right now? Maybe it wouldn't take me that long to do. Oh. Maybe it wouldn't take me that long to do. Hold on, let's look at some more quotes. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard." I was thinking about doing that one, but I don't want to draw animals in his beard. I want to leave well enough alone. It's a fact the whole world knows that pobbles are happier without their Oh my god. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do? All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this as we are today, and I apologize for the false sales pitch, because I told you guys I was going to be doing. I know I told you I was going to do lettering today, and guess what? What else is new? I mean, that happens sometimes, right? Sometimes I say I'm going to do something and I don't end up doing it. And I don't like to disappoint. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do lettering around him. But I'm not going to do it right now because I need to take a break. And I don't want to rush. I don't want to like rush a job. You know what I mean? I don't want to rush my job on this and then, you know, be unhappy about that. So let's leave this as is today. You know, thanks, Deb. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Thank you so much. Thanks for chiming in because it's just you and me, I think. Or like I have some silent, maybe I have some silent viewers and that's okay too. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, so I don't want to rush my little guy. I don't want to rush my little guy. And, you know, he's looking so good right now. I don't want to, let's give him a little, he's smiling under that beard. I can see it. I know you are. But what am I? I'm just kidding. That's Pee Wee Herman. Maybe I should do Pee Wee Herman sometime. Yeah, this guy's awesome. Edward Lear, thank you for sharing your incredible talents with us, your inspiration, your imagination, I should say, and your lovely artwork. And yeah. And I love this portrait of you. It's fabulous. Fabulous portrait. I mean, I love the portrait I'm drawing from, is what I meant to say. I do like this portrait too. This came out pretty nice. But actually, I think I want to define his nose a little bit here, a little bit more here. Feeling a little off balance with my nose situation. Yeah, dude, you're awesome. You are so awesome, and I'm so glad that you were here. Life is so weird. You know, these people come through and we all come through and we give what we give and then we're out, you know. Oh my gosh, philosophical. Okay, Deb says PW is always in style. PW? I think he turned out perfect. No need to overthink it or overdo it. Thanks, Deb. Thank you. Thank you so much. I got to be careful for the danger zone, you know, the overdo it danger zone. I don't want that. I'm just doing a little detail on his glasses. Then I'm going to hang it up. Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is something. If I do text around him, like cursive, like a poem, like I really want to do, but I don't want to do it right this second because I'm not ready for that right now. I'm looking at the shape of his beard right now. I think I might need to fill out a little bit here because, you know, his beard has like this and then it comes a little bit out. And I just want to make sure that I get his shape of his beard right because these are important things. This is like an important little aspect of his visage, right? The shape of the beard. And I mean, I would also venture to say that like the curl pattern in his beard, but because it's looser over here, it's tighter down here, it's moving in this direction, and here I got it pretty good around his mouth area. Although I have to say he kind of looks like he's making a, let's fix that. He looks like he's making a O with his lips and he's not. So let's do this. Let's just do our little finishing touches here. Finishing touches. So if I was gonna, and this is the old Monday morning quarter. Oh, Pee Wee Herman. Yes, he is always in style. I still haven't finished watching that HBO. I watched the first one and then I haven't seen the second one yet. I need to finish that. He has there's like a show on, Talking Head style show, you know, about his life. Yeah, if I could go back, I would probably... This is why people do studies before they draw. Because they're like, okay, shape. And I made it a little fuller here. I think I got a little caught up. And I made it a little fuller here. And then it fills out down here. But here it was a little more like that. And then here there's a little bit more of a like that. And then a slant out. And the bottom is good. But, you know, the shape is a little askew. But that's okay. Debbie says, about the Pee-wee. I have yet to watch because I know it'll make me cry. Oh, you know what? I think watch the first episode. I don't think it will make you cry. I think you'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. You'll be saying that like every 30 seconds. But I don't think the first one will make you cry. It is really, it is very poignant. I will definitely admit it's poignant. It's definitely a little tug of the heartstrings. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that's hard, but it's, I didn't feel any like cry-y level stuff in the first episode. And I have only seen the first episode. I'm going to watch the second one soon. You have a sister! I didn't know this! Deb, I love that you have a sister. How come I didn't know you had a sister? I like the fullness of the beard better. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I feel like too... Okay, now I'm doing the judgy thing. This shoulder needs to be a little more like that. Like that. It's more like that. But, you know, it's cool. It's cool. We're going to give it a pass today. So here we are. This is it. We're good. Oh, sorry. Let me adjust this so you can see this more fully. And there we go. And this is Edward Lear, and I hope that you enjoyed today. I will be back tomorrow with another commercial artist of the 19th century. And tomorrow we're going to be doing... I'm going to tell you because I'm very excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them. I think I did a pretty good job with picking, but tomorrow is going to be... Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Tomorrow we're going to have Annie E.A. Walker. And I'm really excited to bring you her story. So, and her Wikipedia page. So, and read for you, and we'll look at some of her art. And I don't have an idea of what I'm going to do for her. I might do a portrait for her too. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right. Hey, thanks for coming today. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Literally laughing out loud that you're so blown away. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm saying. Did I even think about... I mean, I just never thought you had a sister. I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess maybe I could picture you with the brother, but I never pictured you with the sister. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. Yes, I love that you have a sister. It's awesome. That's so cute. All right. How come I can't hang up this live? I don't know. I'm gonna hang it up. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're gonna do Annie Walker. Okay? Bye.